is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Last night, Kevin Kiermaier's heroics in the field and at the dish were not enough as Boston pulled out a victory in a 6-hour, 15-inning affair. Tonight, the Rays will send their ace Alex Cobb to the hill, looking to even the series at a game apiece. It's the Rays and the Red Sox next. Tonight, the Rays homestand continues as we welcome you back to Tropicana Field. This will be game 2 of the 3-game series with the Rays hosting the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, it was a late night last night, a long night for the Rays in that extra inning loss. And if they ought to get even in this series with Boston, they're going to have to rely upon their battery tonight. Wilson Ramos behind the plate, and on the hill, Alex Cobb.
Yeah, and both of these guys having tremendous seasons against the Boston Red Sox. Let's take a look at Wilson Ramos. He's had good career numbers against the Red Sox, but here in 2017, they've been something special. The average up over 400. In fact, back-to-back games against this club, 3-hit games. And look where the home runs are being hit. Straightaway center field. He got that pitch last night from Chris Sale, able to shoot that thing into left, and then you want to pitch him away and leave it up. He's a big, strong man. He can take you out to right. Overall, 4 home runs for Ramos this season against the Red Sox, almost half of his season total of 9. And Alex Cobb, you got to love these numbers. 4 starts against the Boston Red Sox, 3-0 record, and the ERA of 3 right on the nose. I'm going to tell you, when you've watched these games, he has been able to stay a step ahead of this Boston Red Sox lineup, whether it be with pitch location or whether it be with pitch selection, and expect him to do the same thing here again tonight. A guy who studies the opposition, is always well prepared, and will do whatever it takes to win a game.
Another guy who is staying a step ahead in center field, Kevin Kiermaier, and he put on quite a show last night. When we come back, Rich Hollenberg will chronicle the outstanding defensive work of Kevin Kiermaier in center.
Game 2, Rays and Red Sox. Kevin Kiermaier, a tad sore after his superhuman outfield acrobatics late Friday, early Saturday morning, but no worse for wear. And you have to assume a two-time Gold Glover like Kevin Kiermaier would have a hard time ranking his all-time great catches, but that ninth inning grab last night in Game 1 against the Red Sox certainly ranks right up there. It's our Coors timeless moment laying out as Kiermaier goes to the wall to rob fellow center fielder Jackie Bradley Jr. of extra base hits. Whether it's his all-time best is debatable, but KK says it's right up there.
That was one of my better ones, and I think it all just comes to degree of difficulty. And you know, I had to be my full speed the whole way. I got a good read on it and timed my jump perfectly. So it ended up working out in my favor, making the play right there. But I'd say that's definitely top 3 of my career.
That, of course, one of just 3 outstanding Gold Glove caliber plays from Kiermaier last night. He's back at leadoff tonight, batting a .327 in his last 25 games with a home run in his last 3. Dwayne and BA will have the call. Rays and Red Sox coming up next.
Rays and the Boston Red Sox go at it tonight. This will be the middle game of the series. Alex Cobb against Rick Porcello. Take a look at the starting lineups presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Xander Bogaerts is going to lead it off for Boston, followed by Christian Vasquez, the catcher, and Andrew Benintendi hitting third. Mookie Betts in right, the cleanup man. Mitch Moreland, followed by Chris Young. Then Rafael Devers at third. Brock Holt at second, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field.
Well, and for Alex Cobb, we already talked about his numbers against Boston here in 2017. 3-0 in 4 starts as he's making his 28th start of the season. ERA 3.59, 168 innings of work. And I'll tell you, Alex has just, as we said in the open, been one step ahead of this Boston lineup all season long, especially recently. His last 3 starts against the Red Sox, he's won all 3 of them and getting better and better each and every time out.
So here's Xander Bogaerts stepping in to start this one. He's hitting .273. And the first pitch of this game is a little bouncer foul. So we are underway at 11 past the hour. Cobb 3-0 this year against this Boston team. It's down. It's 1-1. Well, both these teams utilizing a number of pitchers last night. In that extra inning game. A little soft liner, and it'll be caught by Miller at second.
Well, let's take a look at the rest of the Tampa Bay Rays defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, Mallex Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. And across that infield, third to first, Longoria, Echeverria, Miller, and Duda. Wilson Ramos back behind the plate.
Quite the display last night by Kevin Kiermaier, both at the plate and defensively. Trying to outdo himself in center field last night.
Boy, single-handedly, he kept the Rays in the game.
Christian Vasquez takes the first pitch, a breaking ball that stays up and a bit. Want to know Vasquez in the lineup on his own merits. He's had a good year for Boston, but he is 6 of 8 with a walk against Alex Cobb.
Yeah,
and a strike.
And how often do you see catchers hitting in the 2-hole?
Well, if you're 6 of 8,
yeah,
got a chance.
The only other guy I can remember up there a lot was remember Jason Kendall with the Pirates.
Yep.
Hit up in the lineup quite a bit. That kind of a guy could handle the bat. And yeah, if you've got good numbers, that's the way it works nowadays. These lineups are no longer set in stone. You may have a position or two that you're going to run the same guy out there each and every time, but a lot of these.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything like a traditional lineup any longer.
No. I mean, with the Rays, it's Longoria in the 3-hole.
Line drive into right, and that ball is caught by Steven Souza Jr. He denied Vasquez another hit against Cobb right there, turning in an outstanding play in right field, taking a page out of the Kiermaier book right there.
Well, these two hold each other to a pretty high standard, and you can see where he's positioned. Gets a good break, and then glove side certainly helps. And able to make that diving catch just above the turf. Now look at the eyes follow that glove all the way down and into the glove, or follow that ball.
And Cobb already fired up with the defense behind him. Put a star by that one for Steven Souza Jr. And here's Andrew Benintendi taking a pitch upstairs.
We were talking about that Rays lineup, and you know, you can put Longoria in the 3-hole and leave it alone. Probably Kiermaier from here on out in the leadoff spot, but other than that, you see, we saw Trevor Plouffe the other day hitting cleanup.
Yep.
It depends on the matchup. Such a matchup-based game now.
A 1-1 count to Benintendi. Two. 6-game hitting streak for Benintendi. Had an RBI single in their big 15th inning last night. Singled in a run his first time up last night as well. 2-2, taking the breaking ball down. John Farrell. As the Red Sox up by 3 and 21 games over 500. Out to short. Echeverria up and out with the throw. And it's a 1-2-3 first for Alex Cobb. Kevin Kiermaier will open the bottom of the first. No score. Rick Porcello heads to the mound for the Boston Red Sox tonight. And the Rays will line them up this way, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Kevin Kiermaier at the top of the order, followed by Steven Souza Jr. and Evan Longoria. Lucas Duda is the cleanup hitter in front of Wilson Ramos hitting 5th. Then Corey Dickerson with Adeiny Echeverria, Brad Miller, and Malik Smith 7, 8, and 9.
Well, Rick Porcello takes the mound tonight for the Boston Red Sox. He's making his 31st start. The record 9-17, ERA 4.64. Does give you a lot of innings at 186 and a third, 167 strikeouts.
First pitch, Kiermaier goes after that first pitch fastball, swinging through it, strike one.
Set the watch to it. I set the watch to it, Dwayne. First pitch heater.
And right on time. Bouncer foul.
Well, he's going to be one of those guys that he is showing emerging power already with a career high in home runs. If you're going to start by throwing a fastball all over the plate just to get ahead.
Right back through the middle on an 0-2 fastball right there. And Kiermaier is aboard with a base hit.
Yeah, Rick Porcello once again getting away from what has made him successful, which is a sinking heater. And he goes right down the middle, about belt high. Almost have to expect it.
He was 22-4 last year with a 315, 9-15 this year with a 492. And he used to live on the ground ball.
His first 6 seasons, his ground ball percentage at worst was 50.8% and went up to 56, 57. This year it's below 40. I mean, enough said, really.
Steven Souza Jr. fouling it back for a strike. Well, you can take a look. Last year, there's 22 wins and a Cy Young Award.
Well, the home runs, you talk about the balls on the ground, and it's just not there for him anymore. He does get some ground ball double plays, but overall, too many elevated pitches. Already seen that here through the first 2 hitters, and 35 home runs given up.
Souza 9 of 30 against him in his career with a home run. And out on strikes, missing the fastball.
Let's take a look at the Boston Red Sox defense for you, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, Benintendi, Bradley Jr., and Betts. Across the infield, third to first, Devers, Bogarts, Holton, Moreland. Christian Vasquez will be behind the plate.
Having sitting on 18 home runs as we start play tonight. Taking the first pitch for a ball. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, working the plate tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Ground ball hits the mound, bounding out to Holt. Out at second, out at first, 4-6-3. Bogarts in the middle. Moreland on the receiving end at first on the 4-6-3 double play. Hit the mound, and that helped Boston. No score through one. Jackpot brought to you by the Florida Lottery. And the Red Sox in the last 9 games have won 7 and averaging 6.8 runs per game out of this offense for John Farrell. Cobb retired them 1-2-3 in the top of the first, and will face Mookie Betts to lead off the second. This pitch is wide. Betts, Mitch Moreland, and then Chris Young due up. It's a strike. On a 2.
I'll tell you what, you start to get that pitch, the way that Alex Cobb shows the ability and the willingness to pitch inside. Wow.
Two.
Pitching in, important. Pitching in and getting strikes, even better. really, you talk about opening up the plate, and that's something that Alex Cobb needs to do with what he features. It's going to be mainly the fastball and that curveball, an occasional changeup, but he needs to be able to work all around the zone.
There's a long one down the left side. That's going to be a fair ball and out of here. Betts turns out a fastball. It's his 22nd home run of the year. And Boston will take an early lead.
I think, Dwayne, that's one of those sequences where you get a little bit greedy. You know, you got your fastball in, and it was even in off the plate for a strike. But to come back in there against a guy like Mookie Betts, who maybe has the quickest hands, some of the quickest hands in the game, you could flirt with some disaster. And that's exactly what happened. That pitch is in, but Betts already aware of that ball in, and those quick hands combined to send it over the fence.
It's his first career home run off Cobb. 21st home run Cobb has surrendered this year. And with it, Boston has a 1-0 lead.
That's what we were talking about a little last night. You don't overstay your welcome. You do a little pop in, and you get right back out and move along. Especially to a guy like Betts, who's very good middle in.
Now a shot toward right center field by Moreland. On the run. Souza got a glove on it. Can't hold it. He'll pick it up at the base of the fence out there, and it's a double for Moreland. Souza made a long run and almost turned in another great catch. Got his glove on it, but could not hold it. It's a double for Moreland.
Yeah, he's positioned great. And this ball, even though it's hit well in a tough spot, he gets to it, and that ball looked like it rattled around in that glove and just never got into the pocket. Let's take a look. Yeah, right off the heel of the glove. Never made it to the pocket. Usually it goes into the pocket. It's going to be held onto, but off the heel, you run that risk.
So the double follows the home run. And here's Chris Young. Shortens on the bat. Runs up and takes ball one. Young hitting .237 in as the designated hitter. Now a strike. Won that pitch up. There was a time when Jeff Nelson might widen the zone a little bit. Not as much up, but when the Rays saw him against the Red Sox in May, that pitch up was a strike, and he just gave Cobb a strike up there. So we'll keep an eye on that. 1-2.
Yeah, the early going, you had the strike on Betts in off. This one above, maybe working with a big zone here tonight. It's going to benefit both pitchers if it stays consistent, and that's exactly right what you said. You'll have to just keep your eye on that as we move forward.
One-two count. Piece of that breaking ball, and it's foul. Rafael Devers, the 20-year-old third baseman, is on deck, and he's been a very positive addition to this lineup for the Red Sox.
Showing a maturity, a very strong bat. We've seen him power, left field all the way over to right field. More than likely, you're going to see him over at third base for a long time.
Two and two. Nobody out in the inning. A run home on the Betts homer. Moreland at second. That doubled his 32nd of the year. The count will go full. Missing away. Up and away with that pitch. 3-2. Kevin Cash could use some innings out of his starter tonight after last night. 3-2 lifted into right. Souza's there to make the catch. Tag at second, but Moreland will hold, and the throw way offline. Moreland comes halfway down. Now the throw back to second. That ball is dropped, and backing up that play. How about all of that? The throw from Souza Jr. way up the left field line. And Moreland was kind of caught in between, and the Rays had a shot at getting him.
Well, here's the thing. The throw by Souza Jr., not even close, number one. But Moreland, if you're going to go, go. And, you know, the throw back to Echeverria hurried. The throw to Miller, he can't hold on to. Somebody needs to take a 20-second timeout, get this game a little bit under control, because that was anything but, that whole sequence.
Well, the Rays record the out, and the runner doesn't advance. That's the bottom line. But even though that throw was as wide as it was, boy, they had a chance to get Moreland. And he's still out there at second.
Well, and that's why if you're going to commit to go, you have to go. And he literally stopped at the halfway point, and the Rays were not able to record that out.
Now here's Devers. Pitch in off the plate.
Maybe everybody's still a little delirious from last night's 6-hour-plus game. Souza Jr. looked like Nebraska's quarterback this afternoon.
Yeah, then you have to wear that.
Hey, listen, when you watch a team get thoroughly manhandled, and it's by Northern Illinois,
yeah,
it's humbling. But you know what? You got what you deserved. Play better. Don't get manhandled by a MAC school. You're in Nebraska, and you got pushed around at home, and you paid for it. You paid them to come in and push you around your own place.
Yeah,
not
better
too
than
good.
$800,000.
Yeah, it's a nice little payday,
So
to walk away with a win.
Here's $850, and now,
yeah,
just give me a beating.
Yeah, and take our dignity too.
Yeah. 2-1 now. That might give you a little more free time.
Yeah, oh, plenty. Gave me more free time today. I'm not going to watch that. Invest my time in that nonsense.
Yeah. Two-1 now. The other way, foul. Now beyond the bullpen. The count is 2-2 on this young third baseman.
Just gives me a lot more time to get my homework done for this game.
Yeah.
For tomorrow's game.
You were here working diligently early.
Don't lie.
So work all that memory away. The 2-2 swing and a miss. He gets a fastball in on him. Devers is the second out.
These guys have a lot of power. They want to get their arms extended, and Alex Cobb just doesn't allow it. Ties him up with a well-placed heater.
Second baseman, number 12, Holt.
Now Brock Holt. Holt playing second base tonight. And there's a first pitch strike. He threw a first pitch strike to Bogarts. Cobb did, and this is the first one since then. Home run, then the double. Now 2 gone with Moreland still at second. Well,
And like that,
Cobb would love to have that pitch.
yeah, I mean, that's a good pitch. Ramos did a nice job of receiving it. Just didn't get called.
And cutting a miss on a nice breaking ball. 1-2. The meeting was quick.
Well, they realized very quickly it was unnecessary.
Holt back in. Cobb ahead in the count. Strike 3 called, and they're on the corner. Got him looking. A run on the home run. 1-0 Boston. Mid-2. On Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By Freestone. Protect your vehicle's radiator. Use Freestone. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Lucas Duda is going to open the home half of the second inning, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. They have the shift on. Bogart's the lone man on the left side, and Holt in shallow right field. He's actually playing right field. Duda quickly behind. There's a curveball from Rick Porcello. 0-2.
Can never have too many right fielders with a left-handed power hitter at the plate.
The fastball got in on him, up and in a bit, and he fouled it. Well, there's the breakout. Not a lot going on the other way.
No, no. And I would venture a guess that the majority of the 10 are in the air.
Breaking ball misses. 1-2. We'll see that curveball a little more frequently to lefties than righties. Now a ball, fastball up and away. 2-2. And he did not check. So says Laz Diaz. Back to the curveball and picks up the strikeout. Second strikeout for Porcello.
Well, let's take a look. And ball's going to break down right there, the bottom of the zone, and maybe just a hair too far.
Now Wilson Ramos coming off a good night at the plate last night. 2 home runs on the evening. He also had a base hit. Ground ball to short. Bogarts takes his time and makes the play. So a strikeout and a ground out. 2 up, 2 down. Corey Dickerson. Dickerson now hitting .279. He's 8 of 35 against Porcello, and 5 of those 8 hits extra bases, 4 doubles and a home run off the Boston right-hander. First pitch is a strike. Fastball in there. Two. It's out of play.
Porcello went down after that delivery. You can see right there the catcher Christian Vasquez popping out from behind the plate to maybe go and talk to him, make sure he's okay, and he said, hey, I'm fine. He delivered that last pitch. They wanted up, and he ends up kind of rolling that left leg and not the finish. Actually, John Farrell and the trainer were headed out too.
Farrell turned around and went back. Porcello said he's fine. The 0-2 again. It's chopped by the mound. Glove by Bogarts, who makes the play, moving to his left. Strikeout and 2 ground balls. 1-0 through 2 Boston.
Sox lead the Rays 1-0. Well, all of us could use a little positive coaching in our life. I think you would agree with that. The Rays are teaming up with one organization to accomplish just that. Earlier today, before the game started, Team President of Baseball Operations Matt Silverman awarded Mark Sokolowski and the Positive Coaching Alliance a check for $40,000. The PCA preparing coaches, parents, and student athletes for success in life through positive examples with everyday sports activities. We'll have more on this coming up in Rays Live, the postgame. Gentlemen.
All right, Rich, thank you. Jackie Bradley Jr. will open the third in a 1-0 game, followed by the top of the order, Xander Bogaerts and Christian Vasquez. First pitch is a strike. One. After that first pitch strike, Echeverria moved from the shortstop side of the bag to the first base side. That takes the count to 1-2. And with that, Longoria will move to the spot just vacated by Echeverria, and Devaney goes back over on the shortstop side. A miss inside with that pitch. 2-2. Ground ball right to Echeverria. He's up and out with the throw. So after all that positioning on the infield with a 2-2 count, Bradley hit the ball right to the shortstop.
There you go. It all worked.
Now, to pose the question you love, so does that go down as an out for the shift?
It should.
It's right to the shortstop spot.
Right where he would normally play.
But they had a couple different shifts on. You could argue that there were 3 different looks defensively there, so that could count as 3 shifts.
That's how they drive the numbers up. That's the shell game they play.
First pitch to Bogaerts is a strike.
They drive the number of shifts up, and when you get the ground ball retired while you're in a shift, it counts for the shift and becomes fake news.
Well, last year the Rays were second in the major leagues in shifts, behind only Houston.
Well, if you're running 3 in a single AB, yeah, I would hope so.
Put down 3 there for the shift department. Let's see where we end up at the end of the year this year.
I'll tell you, it is pretty amazing how, with the different counts, the number of guys that move around different areas based on the data.
Yeah, it's actually, I get dizzier with this than high school algebra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Remember when you were trying to figure all that out?
Yep. No, for sure. You know what I tell you? The thing for me and the shift, and we see a lot of times, you're going to run the shift and he hits a ground ball to the right side, right to the second baseman, where he would have been anyway. It's not that I get impressed by, and I think that where it really helps out the most. It's when you do run the shift and you have the guy out behind second base. No player has ever been traditionally stationed out in this general area.
Yep.
But how many shots up the middle are right to him? And then if you do pinch one side of the infield, especially that right side, and the first baseman is just off the first base line, the foul line, and a ball gets ripped up the line, but he's right there to make the play because you've got 3 guys over there. He can now pinch the line.
Yep.
That's where it
Cut
really
off
helps you.
An extra base hit there.
Yep. It's like playing no doubles early in a game, with help over on your side.
Tapper foul. We're going to have to get Sam Fold back up here to give us a little refresher. I mean, sometimes, you know, we forget what we were supposed to learn. Have a guy like Sam come in and just, you know, brush up on some of that.
Sit right here.
Yeah.
And then we're good.
That's right. Teach both of us at the same time.
It's the best way.
That's up the right side and will be fouled down toward the bullpen. It's a 1-2 count here on Bogaerts, remaining that way.
I definitely think there's been some progress made by us in that category.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean,
yeah, it's kind of fun to, you know, talk about. Every once in a while, talk about it semi-intelligently.
Yeah. Dropping OPS every now and then.
Yeah.
Not comfortable yet going with xFIP, but, you know, there's still time.
That's a swing and a miss. Did it hit the ground or not? I guess that's a foul ball. And so we're going to have another one. This is now 8 pitches in. Let's take a look. Well, that's close.
Very.
And that one is inside, leads it back. It's 2-2. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Made only 12 pitches in the entire first inning. And he gets Bogaerts here on the knuckle curve. Struck him out.
It's been such a big pitch for Alex all season long, and especially against this lineup. You see that grip and the way he's able to spin it so tight. That's the advantage that knuckle curve gives you, is you spin that pitch over just one finger as opposed to two. So if you can control it and you can find a comfortable grip, and sometimes it's not easy with that type. I'll tell you, you can really spin those things with good hand speed.
Well, what do you do with Vasquez, a guy who's 6 of 8? Made a bid for a line drive base hit his first time. I just started with a fastball right down the middle and get a strike.
Last thing that he's probably looking for from you.
And now he's out in front of him. Breaking ball there. To the count on Vasquez. Vasquez taking his time getting back in. And look at this little looper on the breaking ball and a base hit. Down 0-2. Vasquez just makes contact and has a 2-out single. That has Cobb shaking his head.
And it should. This is a 2-strike breaking ball. 0-2. It's not anywhere near the zone. Wilson Ramos is going down to block it. Watch Wilson. He's going to block it. And Christian Vasquez is like, I think I'm going to take it to right field for a base hit. That's just not fair. Great piece of hitting.
So he's now 7 for 10 against him. Ball 1 to Benintendi.
That one falls in for a single. The first at bat, Rocket, gets robbed by Sousa Jr.
Swing and a miss. Throw down. Whoa, close down there due to putting the tag on Vasquez as he got back in head first.
Boy, how about Ramos throwing over / behind Benintendi? And Benintendi's in the way, and he serves as a perfect screen for him to get that ball down to first base.
Nice pickup by Duda. Vasquez, here's the other thing on him. He's 7 out of 8 in stolen bases as the catcher. Shot up the right side, foul, out of play. 1-2.
Yeah, he's breaking some norms here tonight. Hitting in the 2-hole, good stolen base numbers. You look at his average and you compare it relative to other catchers in the game. He's right at the top of the list.
Swing, and he just got a little piece of that. So he's still alive with that foul ball, and it's 1-2. High pop left side. Malik Smith coming in from left into foul territory. Now back just fair, reaching across the line to make the catch. A man left, 1-0, middle of the third, Boston. It was on this date in 2008. Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. Deoner Navarro delivers the walk-off hit, driving in Jason Bartlett as the Rays knock off the Red Sox 2-1. Kanori Iwamorian on the congratulatory celebration.
That's half the fun of watching those.
Yeah. Oh, here's a chopper going to be over the head of Devers by Echeverria. He's going to make the turn and hold. That ball got by Bogarts, but Benintendi, the left fielder, was there backing everything up, and it's a base hit for Echeverria.
Well, take that. Boy, just a chopper. You see where Devers is playing. He's playing way in. Actually, even with the bag, maybe even a little bit in front of it. And that ball's able to get over his head, and Echeverria wisely thinks better about heading into second base.
Rays with their second base runner. Here's Brad Miller. Miller lifts a high fly ball into left. Benintendi all the way to the track and in front of the wall makes the catch. That ball had tremendous carry Miller's had some big hits against Porcello. In fact, 5 career home runs out of 11 hits. And that one got a lot of carry into left center before Benintendi got it. So now here's Malik Smith. And in a perfect world, you'd like to have Echeverria at second right now.
You know, I was wondering, that ball was up in the air for a long time. Benintendi, there was no risk of him not getting underneath it, and yet Adaney was standing out at second base. So he's going to catch it. You're going to have to retreat to first, where if you're tagging up, you've got a chance to challenge his arm, whether you would or not. You know, I'm not sure, but you've got an opportunity to do that, at least force the throw, because he's going to catch that ball, and if he doesn't, it's a homer.
2 strikes to Malik Smith. Top of the order, Kevin Kiermaier on deck. Fly ball center field. Bradley about 4 steps to his right makes the catch. And that's out number 2 with Echeverria at first. And we're going to go back around to the top side of the order. Kiermaier had a base hit. His first time up there. Right back into center. Takes a breaking ball this time. Kiermaier homered in the 14th inning of last night's game. It was after the Rays had watched the Red Sox score in the top of the inning to take the lead. And a breaking ball again, this time for a strike. Kiermaier fell behind 0-2 and then singled off a fastball in the first. 333 since coming back from the disabled list. And a cut and a miss. It's 1-2.
Right up there at the top of the zone, another heater. Gotta be careful with that fastball, because Porcello has been so good with the sinking fastball. If it's not perfectly placed up in the zone, teams have been able to jump on that. Career high 35 home runs given up.
Echeverria goes, pitches up, and the throw is going to be in time. Bogarts took the throw from Vasquez and put the tag on Echeverria, who's caught. And the Rays are out in the third and down 1-0. Red Sox lead. They come into hit in the 4th inning. Mookie Betts supplying the only run of this game when he teed off on a 2-2 fastball.
I think that was one of those pitches that Alex Cobb would like back, just having gone in there one too many times. You know, Mookie Betts, you've got to be careful in and in off the plate. He got his strike in there, tried to close him out, and it didn't work out. But you know what? We're still here in just a 1-run game.
And 1 strike to Betts as we begin the 4th. Back-to-back 23-pitch innings for Cobb. And this pitch is a strike to Betts, and with these 2 pitches, he's up to 60 pitches, 2 pitches into the 4th inning.
Yeah, and setting a little bit of a pace here, and that's something that Alex will do out of the windup. Out of the stretch, different story. He really likes to slow things down, but out of the windup, he'd get it and throw it.
Drops this one over, but it's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two. Mookie Betts, 24 years old, and he shoots this and rifles it foul. Out of play. Good spot for souvenirs, especially with the glove. The 2-2. Is high, so after getting the jump on Mookie Betts, Cobb finds the count now 3-2. Chops to short. Echeverria with the throw to first, and Betts kept off the bases to begin the 4th inning.
Yeah, important. You keep that base runner, the lead runner, off base, and then you get a guy like Betts who can run a little bit, and we know that teams will challenge Alex Cobb on base. He does have 5 pickoffs, but has given up some stolen bases, and there's always a lot happening out there. And actually, we've seen in the last 2 series against Boston, the guys that are able to steal, Boston's been very aggressive in sending them against Rays pitching.
And that's why it's even more important to get that first man leading off the inning. Now, that's a high percentage move anyway. Try to keep that guy off the bases, but especially if they're capable of running, and the Red Sox are. They have over 100 stolen bases.
When you look at Alex Cobb's numbers, and that's something that he's done a wonderful job of all season long. On base percentage leading off an inning against him coming into place, .256. That's excellent.
1-1. You know, if you start breaking down pitching, keeping that leadoff guy from getting on, it gives you such a great advantage to having a good night, good season, and he's been able to do that.
Well, you think about you stay in the windup with 1 out as opposed to right to the stretch, run around. If it's a guy that can run, now you've got to pay attention to him. It gives the offense more opportunities to try to piece something together, to put together a big inning, to get a bunt down depending on game situation, and move a runner.
And strike 3 call. Fastball at the knees. Moreland caught looking. 2 up, 2 down.
Wow. Well located, and maybe just a hair off that plate in, but certainly close enough to be called, and it was. you see Ramos keeps the meaty part of his hand, the meaty part of that glove on the plate. And so that ball may be just off into the webbing, but the hand is right there out of the out over the outer third of the plate, and you get the call.
And now he works the other side, gets the call out there to Young. And these are the things that through the seasons pitchers are aware of, and they've been able to do with Nelson behind the plate. And Cobb has worked both sides of the plate here to the last two hitters.
And here it is. Watch, Dwayne. This ball may be just off, but watch where the hand of Ramos is. He keeps it on the plate, so that ball heads into the webbing, but the majority of that glove is on the outside corner. It presents itself very well to whoever's calling the balls and strikes. In this case, it's Jeff Nelson.
Bounder down to first. Cobb to cover, takes it from Moreland, and Young is out. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox. Through 3.5, 1-0 Boston. A hit in their half the fourth. You can join the Rays supporting those affected by Hurricane Irma. When the entire Bay Area takes a hit, it takes the whole community to join together and rebuild. Donate at youcaring.com/Rays Irma Relief. Breaking ball, as you saw Kiermaier shorten on the bat, take the pitch. Strike one. Quickly down. Quick slider there. And it's 0-2. Tapper foul, back to the curveball. It's a ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. Kiermaier is out on strikes. Well, he's throwing him about everything except the fastball.
Yeah, well, you learned a lesson real quick. And you get a slider right there that actually looked more like a cutter, stayed up, same plane. And Kiermaier just underneath it. But that first at bat told you all you needed to know. And Kiermaier has been hunting heater lately. with great success.
There's a curveball that spins upstairs. 1-0. Porcello has given up a couple hits, but has faced just the minimum number of Rays hitters so far. It's 1-1 on Souza Jr. Kiermaier singled in the first, but was erased on the Longoria double play ball. Echeverria singled. He was caught stealing to end the third. Souza walking out of the batter's box as Porcello is set to make the delivery. Now the 1-1 pitch, and that's a strike away.
That's another example. That's another example. This time it's going to be Christian Vasquez keeping that glove on the plate, catching the ball in the webbing.
2-2.
Watch the glove. Stays on the outside edge, just kind of pulls it back in.
You get 9/10 of the mitt right there on the plate. The 1/10 is where the ball is, but who knows?
These catchers, and we've seen it, Dwayne. You know, you come up to the booth and we're doing our homework and highlighting and talking about day's events, and you're watching some of the early work that goes on, and you see these catchers working on the framing. Balls all over the strike zone, and the techniques used to present them well.
And we see it, and as you pointed out tonight, we see it put into practice, and strikes get called.
Yep. These guys, you have to have extremely strong wrists and forearms to do what they do. A good technique. You think about those balls down in the zone, you got to roll that glove almost, get the thumb underneath it, because if not, it's going to pull that glove down, and that doesn't give a home plate umpire a very good look.
Yep.
So you got to roll that thumb and kind of freeze that pitch there. It's pretty amazing to see what goes into pitch framing nowadays.
Three, 2. Souza lifts a fly ball into right. Betts is waiting. He makes the catch. So 2 gone. Evan Longoria heads to the plate. First pitch in there for a strike. A little bit more of that slider here in the fourth. That's going to be a base hit. Fair up the right field line. Just beyond the bullpen mound it goes. Longoria is on his way to second with a stand-up double. Number 35 for Evan.
That ball just inside out and perfectly placed. See, a lot of times a hitter will make contact on a pitch like that and not even know where the ball went. It was hit so awkwardly, but he's able to keep it up the line, keep it in fair territory, and get himself out there to second base.
His 7th career double off Porcello out of 16 career hits. And here's Duda looking at a strike. It's 1-1. On deck is Wilson Ramos. Upstairs, so the Rays with a man at second base for the first time tonight. Duda ahead in the count. 2 for 20 with men in scoring position and 17 home runs with the Mets, 12 with the Rays. And now there goes Longoria over to third. So Evan will be credited with a stolen base as the count goes to 3-1 to Duda.
Well, you sneak up on Devers right here, and guess what? You catch him back there away from third base, and you just sneak in. We're going to give it to you, take it. And now they move Devers over. Comes out here. Bogart's out there at short, shading up the middle.
3-1 is skied to the right side. Moreland right on that line, and just foul now makes the catch. And the Rays leave a man at third. We're through 4. 1-0 Boston. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Cody Bellinger hit his 37th home run Wednesday and now has hit his 38th. And that matches the National League rookie record set in 1930 by Wally Berger and Frank Robinson with the Cincinnati Reds in 1956.
How about that? 118. He didn't play in April. He didn't come up till right at the end of April, beginning of May. And he popped out that many home runs.
First pitch here to Devers is fouled away. Well, a lot of things going on. Some remarkable numbers. Rookie home runs, winning streaks.
We were talking before the game started about some of the ridiculous strikeout numbers out there nowadays.
High fly ball back into straightaway center. Kiermaier will have room as he hits the track and makes the catch. Yeah, well, that really reflects, all those strikeout numbers reflects the game, the trend that this game has embraced, or a trend that has overtaken the game, and it's really an all or nothing proposition, it seems, so often now.
Yeah, what was the stat was 6 times in the history of Major League Baseball has 24 strikeouts been recorded against one team. and it's happened 3 times this year. 6 total in the history of the game. 3 times this year. Once to the Rays last night.
Yep.
It's actually happened to the Milwaukee Brewers twice this season. How about that?
Well, and we were, as last night's game was progressing, Holt takes another pitch for a ball. It's 2-0. When the Red Sox got to 20 strikeouts against Rays hitters last night, it's the 3rd time that had taken place this year. It's a base hit the other way for Holt. It had happened only 5 times in the entire history of the Boston Red Sox franchise up until this year. 5 times. 3 times now this year.
You just wonder where the game goes going forward. And do you like the game of baseball this way? Do you like the home runs or punch outs?
You want, well, if it gets to a point where a team can show that it's an advantage to manufacture runs, have good defense, good pitching, and manufacture runs, then a team will start to do that and have an advantage.
Didn't the Royals do that a couple of years?
Well, there you
Back-to-back World Series appearances, 1 win.
And you know what they did? They defied traditional baseball thinking because of the on-base percentage. They threw that out the window. We're going to be aggressive and let's go.
Yeah, they put the ball in play. They moved the baseball. They also were one of the first teams to really build the shutdown. We're going to really shorten the game type of bullpen. You think the guys they had for 7, 8, and 9, you didn't have a chance.
So what if you did that? What if you had an offense that could manufacture runs, had good enough starting pitching, and then shut down bullpen and good defense? Well, then manufacturing runs becomes maybe the way to go, which would make the game reflect some of what we've seen in the past.
When you put a lot of pressure on a defense too, you force them to have to make plays. You create pressure. You're going to need the element of speed. You're going to have some elite guys that can run.
You need athletic guys.
Yeah,
athletic guys for defense and to run an offense that can manufacture runs and then shut down bullpens. Bradley Jr. is out on strikes, missing the fastball. So 2 gone with a runner at first. We have a 1-0 game going here. So we might start at some point, as far-fetched as it may seem, we might actually see a squeeze play have some value.
What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
That's a rumor nowadays.
I think it could happen.
I think all the players today think that the squeeze play is only something they can see in black and white film. Or maybe in like cave drawings. There was once a play.
Yes. And this is how it worked.
How many teams, let me ask you this, 30 teams.
Yeah.
How many teams have the sign for the squeeze?
Well, I know one that doesn't. That's a good question. There might be a few. I mean, you don't see it.
No.
We're too busy swinging the bat. We could hit one 500 feet.
That's right. Knock down the back wall.
There must be a percentage to that. It's easier to hit a ball that's going 90 to 100 miles an hour and sometimes making little turns and twists and dips and things. Easier to hit that ball 450 feet than it is to get a guy at third and bunt him home.
I feel as if we are in a balcony right now.
Of course. Just throwing some ideas out there.
Yeah.
Letting them marinate a little bit.
You know what? You're forcing people to think. Come up with some up in the balcony.
Get the eye patch
From
out.
Ivory Tower, pointing the fingers. Well, you do wonder because the game has dramatically changed the last few years. This generation.
Down to third. Longoria throws a strike to Duda. No runs, a hit. 1 man left. We're headed into the home half of the 5th. See if the Rays can manufacture a run. They're down 1-0. Rays who are coming in to hit in their half of the fifth. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Rays baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features, as well as live game video highlights, StatCast, and a lot more. Download MLB.com at bat. Here's Wilson Ramos at bat. Grounded out to short his first time. Swings through the fastball. Strike one. Dickerson will be next, and then Echeverria. One and one. Last night against Chris Sale.
He got a fastball out over the plate, down, smoked it to left, and then a pitch up and away, and he powers it out to right field. He has hit very well against the Red Sox this season. Talked about that in the open. Coming into tonight, the batting average over 400. 4 of his 9 home runs on the season have come against the Red Sox.
Chopper left side. Devers to his left, and the throw to first in time. Joe Ramos is 0 for 2. And Corey Dickerson. Dickerson 0 for 1. It went up the middle in the second inning, but Bogaerts was there to make the play on it. Strike one. Hot shot, base hit into right for Dickerson. Over to cut it off is Betts, and he'll hold Dickerson to a single. Dickerson hit the ball extremely hard, and the Rays pick up their 4th hit of the game.
Yeah, 4-seam fastball. You see where they wanted it. Vasquez set up away. That ball ends up middle in, And Corey Dickerson just gets the head out and ropes it. Actually, nice play by Betts in getting to that sharply hit ball and keeping Dickerson over at first base. Those are the kind of plays that they're not going to end up in a scorebook. But if there's not great effort, Dickerson's at second base, and then who knows how, this inning changes. But you hustle over there, you get it in quickly.
Echeverria takes it foul the other way out of play. Take a look at Betts headed to his left.
Yeah, that ball, you can't get a real good feel for it with that look, but that ball was hit so hard that you really had to make effort to get over there as quickly as you could, because Dickerson was eyeballing second base. Did not let that change slow him down at all.
The liner into center field, charged by Bradley Jr., who makes the catch on the move, and a nice play there. He came right in from center field, full speed ahead.
Boy, did he really pinch that ground or what? Watch this read. Boom. That's a great read. Tremendous route. Very efficient. Made that play look easy. How about the night that Kiermaier had last night?
Have you ever seen a center fielder have that kind of night?
No.
Compressed into
Nope.
what he did?
Nope.
I have not.
You'll see a great play. You may see another good play, but you think back to obviously the catch, and I think that was the best catch I've seen from him. I established that last night. But the throw in extra innings to keep it at a 1-run deficit, the throw against your body, opening up your hips, throwing the ball, moving away, and getting Mitch Moreland over at third base. That was tremendous. Not to mention this. Really? Superman. In the air before. Okay, then you make that catch. But this throw, you don't realize how difficult that throw is. First of all, to make it, 1. And 2, to get anything on it and have it be accurate.
Well, Miller's out, second to first. We're through 5, and it's 1-0 Boston. Sixth inning tonight at Tropicana Field. Eldorado Furniture invites you to settle in tomorrow when the Rays take on the Red Sox. Our coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. with Rays Live. Eduardo Rodriguez against Jake Godorizzi. Christian Vasquez will open the 6th inning. 1 out of 2 against Alex Cobb. Benintendi next, and then Betts third. 83 pitches for Cobb. And the fastball starts him in off the plate. 1-0. Jake Faria up in the bullpen for the Rays now. And there's another hit. A base hit, one hop in front of Souza Jr. Vasquez 2 for 3 tonight off Cobb, and that gives him 8 of 11.
Okay, stay inside that fastball and just inside out it into right field. And another great shot of Alex Cobb going back to get that baseball, shaking his head. What do I have to do to get this guy out?
It's Andrew Benintendi. Pitch is a strike. Benintendi out short to first in the first. And out on a ball caught by Malik Smith. Fly ball up that left field line his last time. Now 1-1. Ground ball. Miller, Echeverria 1, no throw to first. They get the lead man. Miller ranging far to his left and got the feed to Echeverria, but no chance to double up Benintendi. So 1 out here.
Boy, a quick turn there by Miller. You know, you're doing everything you can to get it there quickly. Positioned himself nicely, got the throw there quickly, but Benintendi just running too well.
1 on 1 out. Mookie Betts the hitter. Dan Jennings has joined Faria in the bullpen, a lefty and a righty now.
That'll get Cobb going.
Move to first, and a balk has been called on Cobb, and he'd like some explanation. And I think Nelson is saying that he didn't make that direct move to first.
He is saying that left leg started, you know, the delivery. And a lot of right-handers with good pickoff moves, they'll allow that front leg to buckle a hair. See it right there, and almost simultaneously you're coming off the back of the rubber. That right there is I've seen worse not called.
Yeah, that's a fine line.
Yeah,
that is a fine line.
That's kind of nitpicky.
One ball, no strikes. You wonder about those things. You know, if somebody at some point doesn't say something to an umpire about, hey, you know, watch that, because I think he balked earlier, and it alert one of the umpires, and that's how you introduce that thought process.
You may do that before the game starts.
Yep.
You know, you've already done your research. You know he's got 5 pickoffs,
yep,
and that's a big part of him trying to control the running game. And so you're right. You plant the seed.
Betts fouls it out of play. 1-1. Betts hit the home run, his 22nd of the year. Hit it down the left field line back in the 2nd inning. That's the only run of this game to this point. And it's 2nd with 1 out. Moreland doubled after the Betts home run in the 2nd inning, so the Red Sox had a man at 2nd, nobody out then, and Cobb got out of it. Now 1 out with a man at 2nd in the 6th inning, with Betts the hitter and Moreland to follow. And the pitch is a strike call, that breaking ball. Benintendi bluffing a start off 2nd, and time granted right there. Jeff Nelson granting time.
Yeah, that was late too. Alex Cobb had just started his delivery and had to abruptly halt it.
Now the runner takes off, a step back and throw to third. Not going to be in time. And Benintendi steals third.
Literally. You talk about a stolen base. That's a stolen base. Boy, he just takes off. You see Alex Cobb looking back, and as he puts his head back towards home plate, he just takes off. Had him timed up. That was something that you pick up watching video, some tendency. And he caught everybody by surprise.
So now the infield comes up.
Now, at least with 2 strikes, you can go for that punch out, which is what you need.
And he misses inside. 2-2. Orland on deck. Benintendi at third. And a shot there, and Cobb thought he had strike 3, and he's upset. And you can't blame him. Boy, that was a great pitch.
How do you miss that? That's not even borderline.
Wow. That is a great pitch. I mean, there's not going to be a strike any better thrown tonight than that one. And a base hit through the left side, and Cobb is really upset. And you can't blame him. He comes down to the plate. So the base hit drives in Benintendi. And it's 2-0. And now I'm thinking it must be Kevin Cash has been ejected from the Rays dugout. As Betts singles home a run after Nelson missed strike 3. And here comes Kevin Cash. So I don't know who was ejected. Boy, that's, you hate to see that. And so Cobb will depart. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Lotto Fantasy 5 are all new fast play ticket in the Florida Lottery Game Day Cash promotion. You could win a 2018 Lazy Days RV motorhome, over $200,000 in cash prizes, bowl tickets, season tickets, and more. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Well, here we are. The new pitcher is Dan Jennings. Kevin Cash is still in the dugout. So Nelson made that heave-ho call looking toward the dugout, and I don't know who it was he ejected. There's Alex Cobb. He is upset. Boy, if there's anybody in this ballpark who has a legitimate beef, it would be Alex Cobb. The ticky-tack balk call, and then just a blatant miss of strike 3. It's hard to imagine that you could miss that call, and then there's the base hit afterwards, and you see Cobb. You don't blame him.
Let me ask you this: could it be Cobb that got ejected?
Well, I mean,
he walked back out to the mound, and that's when someone got the heave ho. Certainly wasn't Kevin Cash. Is Jim Hickey still down there? I mean, you got to check to see where the coaches are.
Yeah,
but
take a look into the dugout.
yeah, it was an abrupt, departure by Alex Cobb. So he may be going to get it because he's out of the game. No Hick.
Well, you see, because Cash is still there.
Hickey's still
Hickey.
there. That's the mystery
on Moreland.
Who got run?
Oh, Logan Morrison. We're just getting word that it was Logan Morrison who was ejected.
Somebody down there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad somebody said something.
Yeah. I mean, that was like you said, it was a ticky-tack call on the balk.
Yeah.
Number one, but the pitch that was missed wasn't even borderline. That's not negotiable. That's not could have gone either way. That ball is right there. And you can understand Alex Cobb furious, and I don't blame him, not one bit. Not only that, but then your night comes to an end.
Yeah. Well, and there's ball 4. Jennings is wondering what he has to do to throw a strike there. You really have to wonder what is going on here in the 6th inning. Betts up to second base on the walk to Moreland. Cobb's still shaking his head. He just can't believe what has taken place here in the 6th.
You know, when you're standing out there and you deliver a borderline pitch, you always want it as a pitcher. And sometimes you don't get it, and you may not like it, but you say, yeah, man, it could have gone either way. There are other pitches that when they leave your hand and you see that the hitter is not even going to offer, you just you are on to the next guy because you know it's a strike. You're catching a ton of the plate, and that's exactly what happened to Alex Cobb, and then was absolutely bewildered on no call by Nelson. And then, of course, immediately Betts capitalizes. Costs you a base hit, ends your night, costs you a run.
Yeah, and it costs you a guy on the bench. He's ejected.
Yeah.
And then ball 4 to Moreland was a pitch that's easily a strike. The 0-2. Ball 2 strikes.
See, I want to get ejected now.
Can you get ejected from the balcony?
Well, you're loud enough. Yes, you can. I have to hit the cough button.
Yeah, make sure you do that. Save both of us. There's a foul ball out of play. It's still 1-2. I mean, you look at this, the Rays actually think, I mean, Betts should have been out. Then he singles, and then Moreland eventually walked on a pitch that was a strike. So it would be 2-2 to him with 2 outs. Instead, you got a run in. It's a 2-0 game. Only 1 out with 2 men on.
And you know, after all of that, if you're out there on the mound right now, you have to be thinking next pitch to Chris Young. That's it. All of the stuff that we're talking about can't even remotely be on your mind at all. It's got to be next pitch, next spot, find a way to get out of this and overcome.
Yep, you're right about that, 100%. 1-2 on Young. And there's a pitch It's down 2-2.
Staying right in that area.
Popped up, and that's a foul ball. Essentially had to come right down the middle. You apparently can't work the corners or the edges.
Dan Jennings can get some late life and late action on his pitches, and that's certainly what you're looking for now. Something on the ground. Get a 2-for-1. Put this inning to bed.
Two and a cut and a miss. So he strikes out Young. Turned out to be an 8-pitch at bat, and they get him swinging. And that gets the left-handed bat of Rafael Devers up there. Devers lines it into left toward the corner, and it gets by Malik Smith. Betts scores. Moreland will go to third. Devers winds up at second. Boston takes a 3-0 lead.
Rafael Devers, that pitch away, but it's thigh high. You could see opening up with the swing, but he just slashes out across the plate. Plenty of power, and then gets that ball, and Malik Smith just whiffs it, heading over towards the line. I don't think that really cost the Rays anything. Maybe Devers getting to second, but that ball was hit deep enough. He's probably going to try anyway.
Brock Holt. And there's a strike. So it's now 3-0. And in 1-1. Devers given a double on that ball that skipped by Smith. A 2-minute scoring position. It's foul the other way. Boston 10 of 32 with minutes scoring position last night. The Rays went 1 of 12, and the Red Sox 2 of 6 in this game. Two balls, 2 strikes. Yankees beat Baltimore 9-3. Chop by the mound. Echeverria makes the throw to first. That takes care of Holt and retires the side. It's a 3-0 game, Boston. Middle game of this series. Mookie Betts belted a home run to open the second inning. Turned on a fastball and hit it out to left. His 22nd home run of the year. And then Betts with a base hit in the 6th inning after strike 3 had been called a ball. And then Devers doubles in a run against Jennings, who came on in relief of Cobb. And the Red Sox, with 2 more in the 6th inning, now have a 3-0 lead. Alex Smith leads it off and tries to bunt and does so foul. Strike 1. Smith and Kiermaier and Souza Jr. against Rick Porcello. One to count. Porcello has allowed 4 hits. Hasn't walked anybody, and he does not give up a lot of walks. This one off the glove of the third baseman. Devers recovers, and the throw is not going to be in time to get Malik Smith. With Smith going down the line, normally speaking, not a lot of time to recover.
Well, yeah, and Malik Smith got lucky because he pulled up. He absolutely pulls up thinking this ball's got to be caught. And then it's not. You see, he's still not even in the picture. Now he picks it back up.
So that'll be an error charged to Devers. And let's see if the Rays can make something out of this. 10th error of the year charged to Devers. There's Kiermaier. And he's under the fastball and skies it toward left center. Bradley is there to make the catch. Well, Steven Souza Jr., who came into this game 9 of 30 with a home run off Porcello, looking for his first hit off him tonight. He's 0 for 2. Struck out on a fastball in the first, hit a fly ball to right in the 4th. Skies this one into center. Bradley is going to be there for that one. So after Smith reaches, 2 gone. The Rays and Feeding Tampa Bay holding a canned food drive supporting those affected by Hurricane Irma. Join us at the game tomorrow and donate non-perishable food items to receive a voucher for 2 tickets to a 2018 Rays game. To learn more, visit RaysBaseball.com/Irma. Now Evan Longoria. Evan doubled in the 4th. His 35th double of the year. He takes strike 1. One. Takes off, the pitch skied to right. Betts will angle toward the line and make the catch, and the Rays are out after Alex Smith reached to open the inning. We go to the 7th. It's 3-0 Boston.
coming to bat in the top of the 7th. And we spent a lot of time here in Tampa Bay talking about the American League wild card race. It looks like the American League East Division race is going to come right down to the wire. As of right now, Boston up 2.5 on New York after the Yankees beat Baltimore today. Conspicuously absent, guys, a head-to-head matchup between these two bitter rivals. It's the first time in 32 years the last series between the Yanks and the Red Sox was so early, but both coming down the stretch playing good baseball. Boston currently 7-3 in their last 10. New York, courtesy of their win today, has won 8 of their last 10. And with the upcoming series for the Rays and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium next week, looks like the Rays are looking forward to playing spoiler. Boys?
Well, the Rays will be headed in that direction. Meanwhile, they have this one tonight with the Red Sox and one tomorrow. They've gone 7-10 against the Red Sox in the season series. Jake Faria in this ball game now as he faces Jackie Bradley Jr. and throws a strike.
Well, that is strange that New York and Boston are done. Those are usually marquee, meaningful games late in the year, the last week.
Now 2 strikes to Bradley Jr. Now the Rays will be finished with Boston after tomorrow's game. They have that series against the Yankees in New York, the final week of the regular season. Faria misses with a fastball. 1-2. Back into the screen. Yankees beat Baltimore 9-3. Bogart's the top of the order on deck for Boston. Upstairs. It's 2-2. And a cut and a miss. Bradley Jr. is out on strikes.
Boy, finally able to put him away with that split. See the grip. Boy, he keeps that ball right out over the heart of the plate and just buries it. That late action.
Number 2, Xander Bogaerts.
Xander Bogaerts.
How good was Jake Faria?
Oh, he stepped right in, gave the Rays a big lift.
It came up absolutely fearless, was not promised a lengthy stay with the Rays. He pitched himself into the rotation, deservedly so. A lot of fun to watch.
One and one to count.
Always in attack mode, pounded the strike zone. Keep you off balance. Another guy that he used both sides of the plate.
Into center field, and Kiermaier right there, a few steps to his left. 2 gone here in the 7th inning. Christian Vasquez, who was 2 for 3 against Alex Cobb tonight, will bat against Faria. Ball, no strikes. Down to third, fair, backhanded pick by Longoria. throw to first in time, and 1-2-3. Go the Red Sox in the seventh. Seventh inning stretch time, 3-0 Boston. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealer and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, the Rays need some runs. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Lucas Duda is going to lead it off against Rick Porcello. Duda, Ramos, and Dickerson. Duda 0 for 2. Pitch is a ball down and in. Rays have left 3 men on base, 1 in each of the last 3 innings. High pop fly, right side foul. And Moreland, the first baseman, makes the catch. Just 73 pitches, 1 out into the 7th inning for Porcello. The 4th inning when he made 21, but everything else has been very economical.
Well, the Rays being very aggressive. I mean, really going after Porcello. You know, when you look at Rick Porcello's first pitch strike percentage, it's the highest in the American League.
Yeah, and a lot of damage done against him early in the count.
Yeah, so you've got an aggressive team already who is trying to take advantage of that number right on target.
You know, he's given up 16 of his home runs 1 or 2 pitches into an at bat. Two and 1, so the Rays have been firing early, but so far no runs on. We have now Rays with 4 hits. Chopped down to third. Devers makes the pickup. 2 gone. So 2 up, 2 down for Corey Dickerson. Picked up the most recent hit for the Rays. That came in the 5th. Pitch outside. Rays put together winning 10 of 15 near the end of August and early September. They've dropped 6 of 8 since then. It's 1-1. Ball biting down and in, and big cut and a miss.
Well, Rick Porcello, you can see it out there on the mound. He's starting to feel it. There's a curveball working its way down and in. It gets right underneath the swing of Corey Dickerson as these pitchers continue to expand his strike zone. See how far he's willing to go.
Foul back. Fastball up.
You know that you look at the last 2 pitches. A curveball down and in. It was into the dirt. You get a swing on. Then you go fastball out over the plate, way above the zone. And that little dot on Fox Tracks, it was up there above the letters. And Corey Dickerson went after that. Fortunately, able to foul it off. But that gives a pitcher a lot of options on where to go.
Trying to down and in with the breaking ball. Again down into the dirt. So it's 2-2.
Well, that pitch was just a non-competitive pitch out of the hand, well out in front of the plate, an easy read for a hitter.
Line drive, and it's caught by Holt. That was a rocket, and Holt robs Dickerson. You can't hit the ball harder than he did, and Holt made the catch. Boy, we go to the 8th. 3-0 Boston. Off for Boston, and our Toyota inside look here. Andrew Benintendi with 19 home runs, 19 steals, and when you set 18 as the barometer in a rookie season in both those categories, it's a pretty good list right there. Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, Chris Young, Alfonso Soriano back in 01. Benintendi this year. He leads off the 8th. Pitch is down. Correa, the third Rays pitcher, is fouled right back out of play. The 3 runs charged to Alex Cobb in 5 1/3. Jennings for 2/3, and then Faria got credit for the 7th. And out here again in the 8th. Benintendi, Betts, and Moreland due up. Two, and the bottom falls out of that pitch.
Yeah, you know, he's got such good arm speed with that split and good hand speed out in front. And I'll tell you, when you're able to do that, that ball stays in the zone so long that the hitter has to commit, and as he starts to commit is when it starts to bottom out.
Little looper down the third base side as Evan retreats to make the catch. It's one away. Cleveland back on the winning side of the ledger, defeating Kansas City 8-4. Carrasco picks up his 16th win. 16-6. Cubs beat the Cardinals 4-1. Yankees over the Orioles 9-3. Montgomery the winner. Hellickson the loser in that game. Astros beat the Mariners. The Astros are, I think, the number 1 away from clinching.
I think Cleveland's right there too.
Yep. One strike, the count to Betts. Betts with a home run in the 2nd inning. In the middle of that umpiring flare up that made the Rays unhappy when Betts was struck out, but a ball called, and then singled and drove in a run on the next pitch. Under this one and skies it to left. Smith coming in, and he makes the catch. So 2 outs in the 8th. And Houston held on and beat Seattle 8-6, and Keuchel got his 13th win. He's 13-4. Dodgers beat the Nationals 3-2.
Number 18, Mitch Moreland.
Now Mitch Moreland. He has a double and a walk in between. He was caught looking. Upstairs 1-0.
Porcello, who's had an up and down season, and certainly not the type he was envisioning coming off of that Cy Young award, but throwing a gem here tonight, and he's doing it by really attacking this Rays lineup. I mean, he is coming after him. Always a lot of first pitch strikes, but having some quick, efficient innings. The Rays have yet to be able to get into him for any runs, and you're running out of time.
It's 2-1. It's fell back now. 2-2. Two outs, base is empty. 2-2, shot deep the other way, but Smith is there in front of the track to make the catch. Moreland's out, so are the Red Sox. Bottom of the 8th coming, Rays down 3. Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Doug Wechter will break down Rafael Devers. It's a kids Sunday, by the way. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th, Danny Echeverria hits one over the head of Betts at right field and is on his way to second with a stand-up double. So some fire right off the bat of Echeverria here in the bottom of the 8th inning to get things started.
Another extra base hit, something we've been seeing a whole lot more of from Danny Echeverria here recently. Over the last month or so, he has really started to power the baseball all around the field. You see that swing and that finish, aggressive. Gives the Rays some life here.
Well, the Rays have really had to battle to get anybody into scoring position. Now a breaking ball stays wide to Brad Miller. Longoria doubled with 2 outs in the 4th inning, wound up at 3rd on a steal. And now Echeverria at second base with a leadoff double in the 8th. And that's really been it for the Rays offense. Miller looks at strike 1, fastball, 1-1. Skies it to the left side. Devers looking straight up and making the catch.
A little bit of a basket catch there.
Yep.
Bogart's telling him, nice catch there, Rafael. Don't ever let me see you do it again.
And never take your eye off the ball here. Never.
That ball comes right down. It can be dangerous here. The guys here that play here on a regular basis will let you know that. Visitors let you know it by the number of drops and misreads that we see over the course of the season.
Alex Smith. This is a curveball, strike 1. Rays with 5 hits tonight. Echeverria has 2 of them. And 0-2. First 38 games of the Rays for Echeverria had 4 extra base hits. And in the last 29, he's had 16.
He's fallen right in line with the go big or go home attitude of the Rays lineup.
Alex Smith down, 2 strikes. Curveball, he gets a little piece of that one and fouls it. Fastball well off the plate end. 1-2. And now the breaking ball is down and in. 2-2. Left Longoria at 3rd in the 4th. They had Dickerson at 1st in the 5th. They left Alex Smith aboard after he reached on an error to open the 6th inning. They stranded those 3 and way wide here. Takes the count to 3-2. Action in the Red Sox bullpen here. Porcello a little over 90 pitches. And he walks. Smith, ball pops away. And Echeverria is going to go to third. The Rays will have men on the corners with one out here in the 8th.
Now here's your chance. All this started at the bottom of the order, and John Farrell coming right out, not going to take any more chances. That ball, you could see Vasquez trying to catch that right into the edge of the webbing to try to present it in the strike zone a little bit better. Not able to do so, and Porcello's night quickly comes to an end.
Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Is brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers and by Pinch a Penny, the perfect people for a perfect pool. Addison Reed, the new pitcher. So the Rays with a couple men on, and Kevin Kiermaier will step in here. Porcello gone after 7 1/3.
What a little magic here from Kiermaier.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Hey, listen, he's already homered in 3 straight games.
And he takes that first pitch upstairs out of the zone.
Addison Reed tries to create angles. He's got a little bit of crossfire action. Try to bore the fastball in on the lefties.
Reed pitched an inning last night. Gave up a hit, picked up a strikeout. This one is down and in. Ground ball first, out there. Throw to second, it hits Malik Smith. Down the line from third comes Echeverria. Smith is going to go to third. The Rays get a run. And they wind up with Malik Smith at third base.
Well, I'll tell you what, that looked like it was going to be a disastrous ending to this inning for the Rays, because Kiermaier pulls that ball right to Moreland, who gets the quick first out. Now he's peeking over there at third base at Echeverria. He looks him back and then tries to make the throw and hits Malik Smith right in the middle of the back. Well, this is going to be too easy, right? Step, look, turn, throw, and does not create an angle. He's not able to create an angle, and so that throw, Malik Smith inside the baseline where he should be with the left-handed thrower, and he takes that right in the back. But I'm sure he doesn't mind one bit. Got to run.
And now Souza Jr. swings through the pitch. Well, now it's 3-1, and the Rays with a man at third have the potential tying run At the plate, the run charged to Porcello, an error charged to Moreland, his 5th of the year. Echeverria scores. Smith winds up at 3rd, and Souza quickly is down in the count. 0-2. Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul out of play. Now the Rays, up until this inning, had only put a man into scoring position in 1 other inning. Helped along by the error here in the 8th. And it's 2-2.
Couple of nice takes here by Souza Jr. and you hope that he is starting to hone in on Addison Reed. We talk about him boring the fastball in on lefties. You can see the crossfire and the angle that he creates away to righties.
Now full count. Yeah, that body starts to move toward the 3rd base side, and around comes the arm, creating a bit of a crossfire. And a cut and a miss. Souza Jr. missed the fastball. The Rays score a run. They leave a man at 3rd. It's 3-1 after 8. Rays down by a couple. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Doug will be along to break down Mookie Betts. Kevin Cash and his press conference, part of the postgame coverage, and we'll have sound from the clubhouse. Jake Faria on the hill. Alex Cobb worked 5 1/3. Dan Jennings 2/3. 2 perfect innings so far for Faria. Chris Young leads off the 9th for Boston. Which is too close. Young 0 for 3 tonight, including a strikeout in the 6th. And Jennings struck him out. Popped up right side. Will it be playable? Due to near the stands with room. 1 away. Kimbrel up in the bullpen.
Number 11, Rafael
Was part of last night's game. 1 inning. Now Devers, who doubled in a run in the 6th, takes the pitch for a strike. Big cut and a miss. 0-2. Fastball just to top the zone. Ground ball. Miller scoops it, and the throw to first. Ball stayed right down for Brad Miller the entire time.
Yeah, that means you better have that glove down and the backside down to be able to make that play.
Number 12, Brock Holt.
Brock Holt.
Now this inning so far so good for Jake Faria. It must be nice for him to get back there out on the mound and get back to pitching, being productive, doing a nice job here for the Rays.
Pitch outside, 1-0.
Try to get that offense in as quickly as possible for one last shot.
Faria missed time with that abdominal strain. Now it's 2-0. Two and one. Square the count. 2-run ball game right now. Braves down, top half of the 9th. Faria's 2-2 pitch to Holt. It's line foul beyond the bullpen. Braves in the bottom of the 9th will have Evan Longoria to lead off. Down into the middle part of the order with Duda and Ramos to follow. And a liner to third, caught by Longoria to retire the side. 1-2-3. In the bottom of the 9th, Evan Longoria to lead it off. The Rays are down 3-1. Our Bonefish Grill catch of the game. We go all the way back to the first on this grab in right field by Steven Souza Jr. The sinking line drive by Christian Vasquez. And Souza Jr. robbed him. Now we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Kimbrel will be the new pitcher. Craig Kimbrel 32 saves on the year. 11 of his last 12 outs recorded have been strikeouts. He's on for the 61st time.
Well, 117 strikeouts in 62 innings, most strikeouts per 9 of any reliever in the game. And not really even close. He has been outstanding, so needless to say, the Rays have their work cut out for him, but let's see.
Well, here is Evan Longoria to lead off. The first pitch is a strike. His curveball. Well, last night Kimbrel came on. He walked Kiermaier and then struck out Souza Jr., Longoria, and Logan Morrison. And Evan did go that time, tried to hold, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, Kimbrel's another guy that, that angles that fastball away from right-handed hitters, and he throws with such velocity that you've got to be ready to turn it loose. And all of a sudden, here comes the breaking ball, and the commit comes a little bit early.
One and two. Total of 12 hits in this game. Rays have 5 of them. Red Sox 7, 3-1 Boston. Longoria fouls it out of play. All set. And a swing and a miss. There's that fastball up at 97.
And we talked about it last night. Where he releases the ball from, watch this thing. It looks like it just continues to rise. And we know that's not the case, but it just does not come down. Up, up, up it goes. And boy, Evan is not real happy. So enticing up there at the top of the zone, and so very difficult to get up to and do anything with.
Well, here's Lucas Duda. He's 1 for 14 against Kimbrel. That hit was a home run. And strike one. It's really all or nothing against Kimbrel. 9 strikeouts in that stretch of 14 at bats and the home run. Oh, 2 fastball at 96.
Even that one, it jumps right over the swing of Duda. Duda's got an uppercut swing. Power guy looking to lift and get that ball in the air. And that's a dangerous combo if Kimbrel can keep it up at the top of the zone and just above. Did you see Vasquez tapping the ground, trying to, try to get Duda to listen, to hear something back there in the dirt, thinking you want the ball down, and all of a sudden here comes the heater up.
And a swing and a miss. Fastball up at 97.
13 of the last 14 now.
And here is Wilson Ramos on his way to the plate after the strikeout of Duda. Ramos 3 ground balls, 0 for 3 tonight. takes a strike. And another strike. That's the curveball. So fastball, curveball, 0-2. Ramos, a one-hopper deep short. Bogarts will skip it into first to end this game. Ramos out short to first. 3 up, 3 down go the Rays, and Boston wins this one 3-1. 3-7-2. 5 left for Boston. 1-5-0-4 left for the Rays. Here's the final out.
Well, Wilson Ramos hit that ball hard and forced Bogarts back, and it was a nice play by the Boston shortstop to close this one out for the Red Sox. They took control early. Porcello threw the ball well, and then you turn over to that bullpen. It's going to be tough late in the game, and Kimbrel got the job done once again.
Porcello the winner, Cobb the loser, Kimbrel the save. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Coming up next, Rays Live, the postgame, presented by WB Mason.